Hey guys, welcome back to our little mountain life. My name is Don, and today's video is all about the beautiful cable railing we're about to put on this beautiful new deck. Stick around. Alright, so there's two primary reasons why I am putting cable railing on our deck. The first reason is to save money. This deck was not cheap. In fact, I've disclosed with all of our viewers, this deck was $31,000 to put on. And we're gonna have a big full deck reveal, like the whole time lapse of the whole process. That'll be probably one of the next videos I put out. But it's a lot of money, and it would have been a lot more money had I paid the deck company to put in the cable railing that we're about to put in now. The cable and the hardware, when you buy it yourself, isn't cheap either, but when you talk about all the time and effort it takes into installing this, I mean, after you watch this video, you'll see why to pay an installer, it would cost me a lot more. So we're definitely saving money by having us do it. The second reason why we're putting in cable railing is behind me. This view is our view. This is why we moved up here. This is why we left a perfectly good townhouse in suburbia to live in a camper and then live in an unfinished house. This one right here. This view is everything, and we do not want to block it if at all possible. And so the cable railing, not only does it look modern and nice and upscale, but it's also going to keep the view, open. And we could have done the glass, little glass panels, but that's really expensive and a lot harder to install than these cable railings. So we're saving a lot of money, and we are preserving our beautiful view. So let's talk about the cable railing system that we are installing. The cable railing system is made by Muzata. Muzata is like a houseware hardware company, and they make all sorts of stuff, but specifically I found them searching on Amazon, as you do, to look for the solution that we needed. And for cable railing, they are the most affordable DIY option out there. I'm sure of it. Muzata is the way to go if you're looking for cheap DIY cable railing. So this is a stainless steel 1/8" cable, but this is actually wrapped in black vinyl. We did that for a couple of reasons, and the main thing is we've got the black house. And inside the house, we have a loft, and I did a black handrail, and I did the same cable railing system. So I already had this black rope wire, as it were, and wanted to continue using that same thing. The installation in there went really well, so I'm expecting the same kind of results out here. So with Muzata, you have a ton of different options with hardware, and a lot of them are great options, but we went the cheaper route. I definitely could have spent a lot more money on the anchors specifically. The ones that we are using are just these little screws, basically. They're like lag screws, and the cable goes in there and you crimp it down. And I'll show you how that works in just a second. But there's other options like big turnbuckles and invisible anchors and all this kind of stuff. That's the cheapest, and it's really easy to install. As you see me put it in, you'll understand, and you'll be like, hey, I can do that too, especially if I can do it. Now, Muzata does make the pass-through eyelets, but not this one. I used their hardware in our balcony, in our loft railing, but I wanted something a little more robust, and by that I just mean wider. So I'll flash up a picture here of the Muzata one that we used inside, and then you can compare it to this. This has just got like a wider head to it, and you can see here, it looks good. So you got the little through eyelets, and that kind of helps protect the cable as it passes through the railing posts. And you got the anchors right here, and then you got the stainless steel wire. Other than the hardware, with most proprietary systems, you have tools that are going to be specifically made for the job. And this is a pneumatic crimper, and it comes with different dies that you can put in there to crimp at different diameters. And it works really well. And then they also sent this cutoff tool in this kit. So everything we just talked about is linked below for the Amazon affiliate links, so you can check all that hardware out and see if it works for your application. Oh, and I almost forgot. You could do it by hand, I guess, if you wanted to, if you're old school like that, but you're gonna want a drill to drill through the holes, and we're gonna show that process, but you can use any brand, of course, but I'm partial to the value and performance that Ryobi offers. So let's talk about installing this railing. Really quick, our deck builder, MC Fence and Deck out of Ashburn, Virginia, they did a great job with our deck, and they were super accommodating and flexible with me because I asked them, hey, can you cut the posts ahead of time and allow me to pre-drill all the holes for our cable railing? That way I don't have to drill it while it's vertical and already installed. And they graciously agreed, and I was really happy about that. So I was able to take all the posts that were pre-cut and measure them and take them inside the house out of the elements and sit there and drill every single hole. Now you'll see I'm using a little kind of like a handheld drill press attachment that attaches to any corded or cordless power drill, and that little drill press jig does a great job allowing you to drill a straight hole from one side to the other, which obviously when you're installing horizontal railing you don't want wobbly lines everywhere. So it's really great for that, and I was able to take time. It took a long time to drill all those holes. There's 10 holes in each post because there are 10 sets of cable railing going through, and they are spaced out at 3 inches. The reason why they are spaced out at 3 inches is because 4 inches is code, so I couldn't have it like at 5 inches. And you also want to account for any flex in the wire rope. So like, let's say like right here in the middle of the 2 posts here, it will have a certain amount of flex after we tighten it, and I didn't want that flex to then encroach on the 4-inch kind of territory. So I went with a narrower gap of 3 inches to make sure that that was nice and safe and to code, and we wouldn't have any issues about anything really falling off the deck or anyone falling off the deck. So for our deck, our application 800 square foot deck, it's 40 by 20. I had to pre-drill 11 of those middle posts to fit in between the corner posts, and those were just drilled straight through. So then after all those holes are pre-drilled, you're going to take the little eyelet and hammer that into place. It fits right in the hole that you pre-drill, and that'll again kind of reinforce the hole that you create and allows the cable to pass through the post. Now for the corner posts, we have 6 of those, and you have to pre-drill those as well. However, you don't want to drill all the way through. If you do, you're going to have an exit hole on the other side that you're never going to use. So to use the anchors properly, I set up a piece of tape on my drill bit, and they do provide drill bits for you, so you can make sure that you're drilling the right width hole for the hardware. So I put that piece of tape on there for a little depth gauge. So after the deck builders had everything put up and installed, and they got that top handrail in place, I was able to start putting in my anchors, and all the anchors have a right thread or a left thread screw pattern on them. So in theory, every twist and turn you make to tighten the rope or the cable on the right side of the rail, you want to do on the left side so that there's not a twist in the line. Now for installing the actual anchors into the posts, you can actually fit the anchors inside of your power drill, and it was really easy. You just kind of lock it in place like you would a drill bit, and then for the right threaded anchors, you just screw it in clockwise like you would any screw, and then for the other side of the rail you have the left threaded anchors, and for that you'll want to reverse the orientation of the drill and then drill it in counterclockwise, and that way it's installed correctly on both ends of your railing. And then you just take the cable and cut it to length. You want to make sure that you have enough room in there that it fits inside of each of the anchors on the right and the left side, but you cut it to length, you run it through all the eyelets, and then you're going to take the crimping tool and get that on there. And I'm crimping in 2 different spots. I'm crimping kind of farther back down the anchor and then a little bit forward of that. That way it has plenty of tension and strength, and I'm not too worried about the wire rope slipping out of the anchors after the fact. Alright guys, so that's that. All in all, we are super pleased with this cable railing solution. Again, we've saved money with it, and it looks great, and we still have our view. If you are interested in doing cable railing yourself, a little DIY option, definitely check out the product links below. It'll take you to Amazon, and you can research all the Muzata hardware that's available for your application. And if you're new to our channel, definitely check out our playlist for our pole barn house build. It takes you step by step along the process of getting that built by an awesome Amish crew out of Pennsylvania, and then we are finishing out the inside slowly ourselves, so check that out. We'll see you guys on the next one.